Many gardeners believe July is the time to water more, feed more, and simply let their hostas grow. Sounds like the right thing to do, but after watching hostas through many hot summers, one pattern appears again and again. The plants receiving the most attention often end up looking the most stressed. Maybe your hostas were full and green in spring. Now the leaf edges are turning brown. Small holes are appearing. Some leaves are drooping by afternoon, while others have lost their rich color. If this is happening in your garden, you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, these changes are very common in July. The surprising part is that many of these problems begin because of one small habit that gardeners repeat without even noticing. Today, we'll look at 7 simple things your hostas truly need during July, along with one quiet practice near the end that often makes the biggest difference of all. Before explaining why this happens, it helps to understand how hostas change once the summer heat arrives. Hostas do not grow the same way in July as they do in spring. Earlier in the season, they focus on producing fresh leaves and building a full, healthy shape. By July, their priorities begin to change. Instead of making lots of new growth, they shift their energy toward getting through the hottest part of the year. Heat places extra stress on every part of the plant. The roots work harder to find moisture. The leaves lose more water through evaporation. Bright sunlight can become stronger than the plant would prefer, especially during long afternoons. Because of this, damage often becomes visible in July, even if the real cause began weeks earlier. This is why many gardeners feel confused. They think something suddenly went wrong. In reality, the plant is simply showing the effects of the season. Once you understand this natural change, many common gardening decisions become much easier. One of the biggest misunderstandings begins when a hosta starts to droop. It is natural to think the plant needs water immediately. Sometimes it does. But not every wilted leaf means the soil is dry. On very warm afternoons, healthy hostas may droop slightly to reduce water loss. If the leaves recover by evening or early the next morning, the roots may already have enough moisture. Instead of watering right away, gently check the soil a few inches below the surface. If it still feels cool and slightly damp, the plant may not need more water yet. When watering is needed, a deep soak is usually better than frequent light watering. Deep watering encourages stronger roots to grow farther into the soil. Shallow watering keeps roots near the surface, where they dry out much faster during hot weather. Healthy roots matter far more than leaves that only look healthy for a few hours. Another July habit surprises many gardeners. It involves fertilizer. Spring is often the best time to feed hostas because they are actively growing. But by July, many mature plants naturally slow down. Adding fertilizer during intense heat may encourage soft new growth. Those tender leaves can struggle in high temperatures and become more vulnerable to damage. Heat and heavy feeding are rarely a good combination. There are exceptions. A young hosta planted recently or one growing in poor soil may still benefit from light feeding if it clearly needs support. But for established plants, patience is usually the better choice. Avoiding unnecessary fertilizer allows the hosta to focus on staying healthy instead of producing growth that may not last. Sometimes the real problem is not on top of the leaves at all. It is hiding underneath them. During the day, slugs often stay out of sight beneath large leaves where it is cool and damp. They become active later, leaving behind the familiar holes many gardeners notice the next morning. Take a few quiet minutes each week to gently lift a few leaves and look underneath. Check around the base of the plant as well. Remove damaged leaves that are no longer helping the plant. Clear away old plant material resting around the crown. Better airflow helps reduce damp conditions that slugs enjoy. This simple habit often reveals problems before they become serious. Instead of reacting after heavy damage appears, you begin noticing the small signs much earlier. Now we come to one July job that many gardeners overlook. It has nothing to do with watering or feeding. It is simply removing flower stalks after blooming has finished. Once the flowers fade, the plant may continue sending energy toward producing seeds. If your main goal is beautiful foliage, removing those spent flower stalks allows the hosta to redirect more of its energy back into maintaining healthy leaves and roots. Of course, there are times when you may leave the flowers. Some gardeners enjoy their appearance or want seeds for future growing. Either choice is perfectly fine. But experienced growers often remove finished flower stalks because they have seen how this small step helps the plant stay tidy through the rest of summer. It is also helpful to remember that every garden is different. You may follow the same advice as a neighbor and still see different results. In dry climates, hostas may need deeper watering because moisture disappears more quickly. In humid regions, good airflow becomes especially important to reduce moisture around the leaves. Morning sunshine is usually much gentler than strong afternoon sun, which can scorch tender foliage. Trees create another challenge. Large roots often compete with hostas for water without gardeners realizing it. Wind also plays a role by drying leaves faster than expected. Rather than copying another garden exactly, watch how your own plants respond. Small adjustments based on your local conditions are often far more effective than following one universal rule. After everything we've discussed, one habit connects nearly every healthy hosta. It is not working harder. It is observing more carefully. Spend 5 quiet minutes each week with your plants. Look for changes in leaf color. Feel the soil before watering. Lift a few leaves to check underneath. Notice whether damage is increasing or staying the same. These simple observations help you respond early instead of reacting after problems become larger. Often, the plant is already telling you what it needs. It simply takes a little time to notice the signs. By now, those 7 July habits come together into one simple routine. Water deeply instead of every day. Check the soil before reaching for the hose. Skip unnecessary fertilizer during periods of intense heat. Remove damaged leaves when needed. Watch for slugs beneath the foliage. Cut away spent flower stalks if your goal is healthy leaves. Then return each week for a few quiet minutes of observation. None of these steps require heavy work. None require expensive products. They simply help the plant work with the season instead of against it. Hostas have earned their reputation as reliable garden plants because they are naturally resilient. They do not ask for constant attention. In many cases, they simply ask us to notice what is happening before making changes. If you're comfortable sharing, I'm curious what changes you've noticed in your hostas this July. Have the leaves stayed green, or have you started seeing brown edges, faded color, or small holes? Your experience may help another gardener who is seeing the same thing. Every season teaches us something new. Some summers are hotter. Some are wetter. Each one helps us understand our gardens a little better. The goal is not perfect leaves every single day. The goal is a healthy plant that returns year after year with strength and beauty. Sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe. Do less. Observe more. Get better results. I look forward to seeing you again in our next seasonal gardening guide. Many gardeners think that once July arrives, their hostas need constant care. More water, more fertilizer, and more attention seem like the safest choices. But healthy hostas often tell a different story. In fact, some of the strongest plants in the garden are the ones that are allowed to follow their natural rhythm. If your hostas look different from how they did in spring, don't worry. That doesn't always mean something is wrong. July is simply a different season with different needs. One of the first things to notice is the color of the leaves. Rich green leaves may begin to fade slightly, and the edges can turn yellow or brown. This change often worries gardeners, but it doesn't always point to disease. Hot temperatures, longer daylight hours, and dry winds all place extra stress on the plant. Instead of producing fresh growth, the hosta begins using its energy to protect its roots and survive the hottest part of summer. This is why observation becomes more valuable than action. Before reaching for the watering can, take a closer look. Is the soil actually dry? Or are the leaves simply responding to the afternoon heat? Many hostas naturally droop during the hottest hours of the day and recover once the evening air becomes cooler. If the leaves stand up again by morning, your plant may already have enough moisture. When watering is needed, a slow and deep soak is much better than frequent light watering. Water that reaches deeper into the soil encourages stronger roots. Strong roots help the plant stay healthy during long periods of heat. Shallow watering may seem helpful, but it often keeps the roots close to the surface, where they dry out much faster. Another common mistake happens with fertilizer. Gardeners often think feeding the plant will help it recover from summer stress. But by July, many established hostas are no longer focused on growing new leaves. They are conserving energy. Extra fertilizer at this stage may encourage soft new growth that struggles in high temperatures. Unless your plant clearly needs extra nutrition, allowing it to rest is usually the better choice. As you walk through your garden, take a moment to look beneath the leaves. This simple habit can reveal problems before they become serious. Slugs often hide under the cool shade of large hosta leaves during the day. They come out when conditions become damp, quietly feeding on the foliage. Small holes may seem harmless at first, but finding them early makes it much easier to manage the problem. Cleaning away damaged leaves also improves airflow around the plant. Better airflow helps reduce excess moisture that attracts pests and supports healthy growth. This doesn't require heavy work. Just a few careful minutes every week can make a noticeable difference over the rest of the season. If your hosta has already finished flowering, you may notice tall flower stalks standing above the leaves. Once the blooms have faded, many gardeners choose to remove these stalks. Doing so allows the plant to direct more of its energy back into maintaining healthy foliage and strong roots. If you enjoy the flowers or hope to collect seeds, you can certainly leave them. There is no single rule that fits every garden. It's also important to remember that every location creates different growing conditions. A hosta planted in cool morning sun may look completely different from one growing in hot afternoon sunlight. Gardens with dry air often need different watering habits than gardens with high humidity. Trees, fences, nearby buildings, and even wind can change how quickly the soil dries out. Instead of comparing your garden with someone else's, pay attention to how your own plants respond. One of the easiest habits you can develop is spending just a few quiet minutes each week with your hostas. Look at the color of the leaves. Feel the soil with your fingers. Check underneath the foliage for hidden pests. Notice whether the plant is improving or simply holding steady through the heat. These small observations often tell you far more than any gardening schedule. Healthy gardening isn't about doing more every day. It's about understanding what the plant is experiencing. Hostas have survived countless summers because they are naturally resilient. With a little patience and careful observation, they usually reward gardeners with fresh, beautiful growth again when cooler weather returns. So if your hostas don't look exactly the way they did in spring, don't lose confidence. July is a season of endurance, not perfection. Sometimes the best thing we can do for our garden is slow down, observe carefully, and let nature work at its own pace. As many experienced gardeners have discovered over the years, sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe.